hello. This time, my microphone works. Hi. Happy... Oh my god, it's Friday, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Hello. Happy Friday. First of all, congrats on first Irom. Also, hello Irom. Hello Austin. Thank you for the 18 months. That is kind of scary. For 12? I don't know. 18. Thank you for 18. Thank you. Hi Skip. Hi. I'll reserve you first next time. I'll wait to activate the first redeem until you say hello. But if you don't show up, I guess no one gets it. That's just how it is. I don't make the rules. Also, Trace, it is a diabolical hour for you, isn't it? But hello. Hello regardless. Also, hello Rising. I hope everyone had a good week so far. I'm kind of tired today, even though I slept for quite a long time. I don't know. I'm kind of exhausted. I just need to hongshu me even more, I think. I'm excited for next week because I only work 3 days out of the 5, and then it's time to hustle and stream and finish. No, not finish Higurashi. That'd be too nice. But make some good progress. I'll try my best. But yeah, my week has been pretty okay, actually. I played some Animal Crossing. I made some good progress. Today I learned that if you don't build the houses when Tom Nook wants you to, he just autofills them with whatever villagers once you build them. I was really surprised. But regardless, I made some progress. It is really laggy for some reason. I wonder if it's because I'm playing through the OBS capture instead of the capture card pass-through. But it's really laggy, which it shouldn't be because I'm playing on the Switch too. And I barely have any items on my island. I don't know why it's lagging, but I hope it won't do that for much longer. It's okay, I'm manifesting not being tired. You got this, or just go sleep. That's also an option. It is concerning. I even have like the Switch 2 version, and I would assume that it works fine. I don't know. It's kind of not running super well. But I did play it through pass-through for a bit, and I didn't notice any lag. So maybe it's just the OBS capture. I'm not sure. We'll find out the more I test, I suppose. But yeah, I'm breeding some flowers. I brought over some money from my last island so that I can spend it all on turnips on Sunday. And I'm struggling to get DIY recipes, but you know, I'm working towards getting some more. I think when the game came out in like 2020, I used to just stand AFK at the beach and then set an alarm for like every, 5 to 10 minutes? So that I could catch the balloons as soon as they like spawn on the either left or right side of your island. And I would just try to catch all the balloons that I saw, but I don't know. I don't want to try hard too much. Tom Nook is bad civilization? Maybe. Okay, listen, the guy just wants to make a lot of money. He's hustling, okay? I don't know what he's hustling for, but he's basically the symbol of capitalism, and he's enjoying it. He seems to really love capitalism, so good on him. And it's working out for him. So, I can't really judge him. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can get through the tutorial relatively fast without burning myself out so that I can play Happy Home Paradise? Happy Home Designer? I forgot what the name for the New Horizons version is. And then I want to do the whole like hotel stuff. I unfortunately didn't get to play it because I reset the day or like a few days after the update came out, and I haven't had the chance to look at it. But I think it's going to be really fun. I really want to play it. I noticed that people were like complaining about the villagers running around your island. Like the random villagers that can now visit through the hotel, which I think is kind of funny because I think that's awesome. The villagers that I don't want, but I still think are kind of cute, can still roam around my village. And, you know, the not so cute ones also have a chance to roam around the village. You know, that's just fair. I think that's kind of nice. Even even if it ruins the aesthetic for some people or whatever. I don't know. I don't mind it too much. Not that I have gotten to that point yet. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really done much. I didn't even get the chance to read. I've just been kind of sleeping all day. And oh my god, I finally managed to fix my like online banking issue, but now I have a different issue. I can't add my bank card to my Apple Wallet, and I'm like, I'm so close to exploding, but it's okay. I will get it all fixed eventually. It ruins the aesthetic for people? Really? That's crazy. Yeah, people are like really into their Animal Crossing aesthetics. I don't know, man. I've never like fully finished, quote unquote, my island. But I don't know. I wouldn't care if there's like a slightly less cute villager running around. Like, I don't care, man. Whatever. It's just a villager. They can roam around. They can experience my half-assed island. That's okay. Yeah, usually I always like flatten my entire island and I'm like, I'm gonna make it look like this, and then I never do. And then it just flat and empty. So now this time I'm not gonna flatten it. I'm just gonna work with what I have and, you know, just place stuff wherever and then make it look good later. I think that would be the better approach than as soon as they give me terraforming, destroying everything. Progress, now you know how much money you have at least. Yeah, I had less than I thought I had, but that's okay. That's okay. That's alright. We're getting paid soon, okay? Only a couple more days. Wait, when do I get paid? Sometime next week. Probably in a couple of days. Maybe even today, actually. Hold on, I can check. I can check right now. Hold on. I didn't actually check yet. I didn't have the money yesterday, but maybe today. No, not today. Today is not the day. Or is it? No, it's not. Maybe next week. Also, hello, Roxora. Hi. Always easy to dream big. Hell yeah. Time to plan the next books you're gonna buy. I have so many on my to-buy list still, but I reorganized my bookshelf yesterday, and I noticed, man, I have so many that I haven't read yet, and I should get to that. I'm still in the midst of reading The Empty Box and Zeroth Maria, and that one's still really good. I'm at volume 3, but I haven't kept reading because I don't have the physical volume, and for some reason it's like way harder for me to like get up my iPad and just read on there. Even though it would seem like it would be easier, it's somehow harder. Also, hello, Fite. Hi. Hope you're doing good today. I am doing pretty good. I think my throat is a little bit messed up. I feel a little sick. But, yeah, I'll just try to drink a lot of water. And maybe even some tea during the ad breaks. Maybe, if I can. I don't think I can make tea fast enough, but, you know, I can try. I'll do my best. Yeah, I don't want to yap for too long because I don't have that much to yap about, and I always want to cut myself short, but I never do. So this time, we're going to jump into the game. I actually managed to skip towards the option that they give you to either save Satoko or, you know, sacrifice her in order to keep our memories. I tried to skip to that part a little earlier. And like when I got to that, it auto-selected the option to save her. So I'm not sure if that's just what happens normally, if that's what you're supposed to do, or if she just does that regardless of what you do. We'll find out, I suppose. Hope your throat doesn't get too rough from this. It's okay. I think I just don't drink enough liquids. I gotta work on that. Not even 30 minutes. Hey, I'm still yapping. Who knows what's to come. Also, hello, Laika. Hi. Hope you're doing good today. I feel like there's so many things that I want to say. Like, oh my god, I've looked into setting up streamer bot, and then I was super confused, and then I stopped. But I might get into that. I want to do some cool stuff with my streaming setup this year. I want to try my best. We'll see if it works out. I have some cool ideas. We'll see if I can make them work. I need money. I need my job to pay me so that I can do cool stuff. Because some of it requires moolah. Also, hello, Noelle. Hi. I hope you're doing good today. But yes, it is time to play the game. I already have it open. Would you look at that? I've had this banger music in the background this whole time. I love this soundtrack in particular. Let me put myself here and take the book and the candle, the usual pair. And do this. And yeah, let's try to do the other ending question mark if we even get to that point. If it just auto-selects the other option, we can always go to the actual part that we were supposed to read. I still don't know if this is a tip or just a last part of the episode. I don't know. We'll find out. I have no idea what that's about, but we'll see. Should I fight them for her, or should I leave so I can confront my true enemy? And that's, I'm sorry, Satoko. Oh, I can't even choose A. Oh, wait, now I can? No, it auto-selects B. Hold on. Either I can't click, or the game is bamboozling me on purpose, because I didn't do anything. It was, like, highlighting... See, it's highlighting the options automatically, so we can't even abandon her. We can just save her, which is kind of nice. I'm glad that Yukishi doesn't make me abandon her. Actually, I'm kind of happy about that. Okay, so never mind. That was unnecessary. The illusion of choice. It kind of is like that. But I'm happy. We don't have to abandon our friend. It's kind of part of the message. You don't abandon your friends. You believe in your friends. It would have been weird if we had the option to give up, because the whole point of this chapter is to show that Rika is also starting to believe, and that everyone needs to believe. Hello, Zero. Hi. Hope you're doing good today. Friendship is the only option. You're so right. Anyway, then let's read the emergency manual? Question mark? Emergency manual 1. If the existence of a terminal patient, L5, is confirmed, the institute director must resolve the situation before the L5 begins engaging in antisocial behavior. However, they must ensure that the secret remains hidden. To that end, the director may also request assistance from the Secrecy Preservation Unit. As for the Secrecy Preservation Unit, they may request permission to fire from the institute director if necessary. To fire? To fire what? To fire firearms, like guns, to kill people? Is that what they're talking about? I'm doing terrible at work. No, it's okay. It's Friday, only a few more hours, and then you're allowed to go home. Bullets, yeah. Allowed to fire bullets. All efforts should be made to secure the L5 subject is alive, but if that proves obstructive to maintaining secrecy, their life may be forfeit. So this is about maybe... God, what stage was Satoko again? She wasn't L5, right? She was like L3, L4? I don't remember. Maybe she was L5, but L5 is like close to, you know, snapping. It's the boiling point. At all times, maintaining secrecy and preventing exposure will be of highest priority. However, preserving secrecy will take priority over preventing exposure. Huh. Interesting. They don't care if it spreads, I suppose. I guess that just means more test subjects. I ordered ghost pepper and other special pepper flakes, and they should be here. That sounds very spicy. I barely can handle chili, so, crazy. I pray for your safety. Emergency Manual Appendix 9 FAQ. Question: can Emergency Manual 34 be administered if an outbreak of L5 occurs, putting matters beyond the control of the Secrecy Preservation Unit? Additionally, is the Institute Director responsible for determining what constitutes an out-of-control situation? Yes, is the answer. Okay. Short Short and sweet. Question. If an accident occurs and a hazardous material, the H170 series, is exposed to the public, can Emergency Manual 34 be administered? Yes. Okay. Question. If an accident has occurred and the nature of the institute is revealed to the public, the Secrecy Preservation Unit will take steps to resolve the situation. However, if this information is spread too widely, can Emergency Manual 34 still be administered? Additionally, is the Institute Director responsible for making that decision? Yes. So the Institute Director is basically the person that just decides everything. Oh, thank you for the 20 stream streak, Zero. I appreciate it. Question. The decision to execute Emergency Manual 34 must be carefully deliberated over and sanctioned by an official. However, in the case of emergency, does the Institute Director have the right to make that final decision? Oh, wow. Not just a yes. Answer. The execution of Emergency Manual 34 must be sanctioned by an official at all times. However, the Institute Director may petition the urgency of its use to an official. Oh god. Okay, well, I guess now we find out what that is. And that sound was not very calming. Emergency Manual 34. Reproduction or removal of this document is prohibited. This manual may only be read with the appropriate permissions. This manual will only apply upon approval by the highest authority. Nothing short of official authorization shall count as approval. It's red text. It is! This is scary. I think the last time we had red text was when we were, you know, playing the game from Rena's perspective, and she was going a little cray-cray. Furthermore, those authorized to apply this manual must take their decision as soon as possible when it is acquired. Make their decision, not take. That makes no sense. If the situation threatens to spiral out of control and the official accedes that this is the case, the ED Institute must make the final decision to preserve the secret and prevent its detection by others. The following is an outline of how to execute the final resolution. Terminate all patients above L2. Destroy all evidence inside the Institute. Conceal the fact that this manual was administered. The contents of this manual must be executed by the Institute Director within 48 hours of the incident. That's kind of crazy. To just kill every single patient just because, you know, this experiment came to light. That's kind of fucked up. If the director is not available, the chief officer must execute it in his place. The Institute Director may demand support from either chief officer in executing this manual. If this manual is expected to be executed, the chief officer may issue the preliminary orders. The final resolution must be executed in the following steps. Disguise the incident as a natural gas disaster and quarantine the area. Well, the quarantine unit must disguise themselves as police officers and isolate the Hinamizawa region from the outside world. The official explanation must be that there is a gas disaster within the village. Oh, so... okay. I wonder if they just kill everyone in Hinamizawa, because technically everyone in Hinamizawa is, you know, affected by the disease, right? Like, I think everyone is affected by it, so does that mean that they just kill them? Hello, partners. Hi. Hope you're doing good today. Gas leaks, classic excuse, yeah. This is kind of fucked up. I mean, we knew it was gonna be fucked up, but still, it's more fucked up than I thought it was. The equipment for the operation will be stored at a vacant lot where Yaguchi Quarry used to be. The equipment must undergo routine maintenance. In the event of external breach or internal escape, if they do not respond to notice of the gas disaster or orders to evacuate, use of firearms is authorized. The approval to use firearms is given by the Chief of the Secrecy Preservation Unit to the Chief of Traffic Blockade Unit. Shutting down communications. The Communication Sabotage Unit must ensure that all forms of communication, including radio, have been disabled in the Hinamizawa area. This is so illegal. This is crazy. I hate it when a gas leak destroys my entire village, man. That happens to me all the time. That sucks. They must take care not to fall under suspicion, and communications must be disrupted for a minimum amount of time. The facility belonging to the telephone company is inside the traffic blockade, so any civilians inside may be shot and killed. What the fuck? The chief of the Secrecy Preservation Unit may give permission to use lethal force to the chief of the Communication Sabotage Unit. Assembling the infected carriers. The Secrecy Preservation Unit must assemble the infected populace in the Hinamizawa Regional Disaster Shelter. Refer to the enclosed documents for gathering procedures. Upon assembly, the unit must count the number of the infected and confirm that everyone is present. Be sure to not allow the infected to expose the true nature of the gas disaster. Additionally, the infected must not be allowed to bring any large personal belongings with them. However, they may take their valuables, including bank books and cash. If they're not killed already, because this only, counts if they are under, the stage of L2, I think they mentioned. Because otherwise, they'll just be killed. Infected who refuse to assemble may be shot, but the chief of the Secrecy Preservation Unit must carefully consider the decision to do so. Terminating the infected. Once they are assembled, the Secrecy Preservation Unit must terminate all of the infected. Before that point, care must be taken to ensure that they are not suspicious of the story of the gas disaster. Be sure that they are treated as humanely as possible, and, if they act in any way as if they suspect that you're lying to them, you can just shoot them. If any problems occur, the unit has approval to fire their weapons. The chief of the Secrecy Preservation Unit must also make that decision. Who is that anyway? It's not Takano, is it? If this is Takano, then, well, everyone is getting shot, I'm sorry. Bodies with gunshot wounds should not be placed together with those that have been poisoned. Poisoned? Concealment of the Institute. The Institute Concealment Unit must collect all of the classified items, referred to the 193 items in the appendix, in the Institute in order to suppress the evidence. Refer to the appendix for more detailed instructions. The research staff at the Institute must assist with this operation. This unit must exercise extreme caution as they will be handling a number of toxic substances. So, you're telling me that Irie would assist in killing everyone infected in Hinamizawa? Alright, man. I doubt it somehow. Strict quarantine must be maintained of the concealment block. The airproof door must be welded shut and the underground area must be flooded. There's an underground area. The entrance to the area must be welded shut and concealed completely. Furthermore, the concealment block will be completely removed within 3 years. I don't remember how much time had passed in that one episode where Akasaka and Oishi were like, oh, let's write a book about how all of this went down. But I think they visited after a few years. But they never went to the Institute, I'm pretty sure. The Institute Concealment Unit must eliminate all civilians who would try to approach the Institute. The use of firearms is not permitted except in emergencies. The chief of the Secrecy Preservation Unit may give the order to fire. Searching the village. The Secrecy Preservation Unit, my goodness, how often do I have to say that, must search the whole village for any survivors. Any person who is not present during the assembly must be found. Any survivors found after the termination of the infected may be shot immediately. Okay, that's messed up. However, if the survivor is willing to surrender, do not shoot and instead take them into the custody of the Secrecy Preservation Unit. Okay, they may be shot immediately. How does the survivor have time to fucking surrender? If they're getting shot immediately, I doubt they have time for that. The unit must then terminate the captive using the same method as for the other infected. Okay, so they're gonna die regardless. Amazing. Post-mission transfer to General Forces. Transfer the job to the official disaster recovery team. Make sure not to arouse suspicion. Complete withdrawal. After the completion of all operations, the secrecy protection unit will retreat from the Hinamizawa area. They must be careful not to be suspected by the disaster recovery team. Furthermore, the Institute will continue to secure the concealment block until complete removal is finished. Okay. The Queen and her carriers. It is assumed that the pathogen has the same characteristics as creatures such as ants. There is a queen of the carriers of the disease, just like there is a queen ant, and this position has been passed down the line of the vtuber family. This assumption is made based on the legends and ancient writings that have been passed down in the village. It is already confirmed that the carriers have a tendency to protect their queen. Additionally, the queen carrier can only survive within the boundary of the village. Probability of outbreak. As ordinary patients will become ill when they travel far away from the queen, it's assumed that the further and longer they are away from her, the higher the chance of symptoms occurring becomes. Also, mental state plays a strong factor as well, and it's estimated that those who are especially emotionally unstable or show strong yearning for their home are more likely to exhibit symptoms. It is believed that the Takano relaxation method, is the most effective means of suppressing symptoms, but if the patient still shows no improvement, only returning them to their home and the queen will be effective. What does that mean? Please explain. Concerning terminal patients, as they suffer from an extreme persecution complex, are incapable of functioning within society. Cases of arson and murder have been confirmed. They may present severe problems for their units. Records show that terminal patients appear even in Hinamizawa, and they will not recover even if relocated nearer the queen. Therefore, the decision to dispose of the problem must be made as soon as possible. It's recommended that the infected be quarantined before they start behaving irregularly. We suggest tracking down those formerly from Hinamizawa and placing them under special medical observation. The collapse of the carrier community. For the aforementioned reasons, we predict that should the queen carrier die, infected villagers will exhibit terminal symptoms on a village-wide scale. Terminal symptoms will begin showing within 24 hours at the earliest and 48 at the latest. For that reason, the final decision must be made within 48 hours. Based on the size of the village, neither ordinary officers nor the military police may be able to control the chaos they may bring. We believe the best response is to treat them as an armed anti-national uprising and immediately suppress them with the military. So their answer to everything is just violence and military force. January 1948. 45? What is wrong with me? To Colonel Koizumi of the Supreme Council for the Direction of War from Hifumi Takano. Hifumi? Oh, wait! Oh! We kept seeing, like, Hifumi T as, like, the person who wrote those very obscure notebooks. June 23rd, 1983. Document E420 for the 58th Defense Commissioner. And TCOM C733 Commander. Alright. TCOM 733 is hereby ordered to be on standby within 24 hours, armed for urban suppression. The company commander must also thoroughly study Emergency Manual 34. Select personnel carefully with the preservation of secrecy in mind. Additionally, test the effectiveness of the vaccine with the support of National Research Center of Infectious Diseases. Employ those with positive immunity. June 23rd, 1983. Isn't that today? Document E711 for the 58th Director of the NIHS. Attention Equipment Testing Company Commander 733. These are just words. I don't even know what this is talking about anymore. The National Research Center of Infectious Diseases. Infectious Pathogen Department Suit 13. Official seal omitted. About the Hinamizawa Syndrome. This is information regarding the Hinamizawa Syndrome. The Hinamizawa Syndrome is an infectious disease caused by a virus. There are no initial symptoms, Instead, their onset begins when the patient's emotional state becomes unstable or if the queen carrier dies. The main symptoms of the illness are hallucinations and emotional instability, paired with an extreme persecution complex. Furthermore, patients are frequently unaware of their own mental abnormalities, making identification outside examination nearly impossible. The only way to do so is by observing symptoms indicative of terminal abnormal behavior. In many cases, patients engage in antisocial behavior, which is the largest issue created by the syndrome. This behavior is caused by hormonal factors, as this disease mainly affects the mind as opposed to the body. In the end, the patients will experience extreme irritation in their lymph nodes, and they will claw at their throat or wrists. This is the only symptom that is recognized by the patient. Important points regarding the sterilization operation. That doesn't sound good. This is an advisory notice for virus control. The pathogen is an airborne infectious virus, therefore no effective preventative method exists, and inoculation is required. What does that mean? Inoculation. The action of immunizing. I don't know how to pronounce that. Someone against the disease by introducing ineffective material, microorganisms, or vaccine into the body. Okay. I understand. After the mission is completed, all staff members must take a medical exam, and those with positive test results must come forward. Be cautious when interacting with the carriers, villagers. Even after inoculation, any contact with their bodily fluids will cause infection. Do not come into direct contact with them. If assumed infected, individuals must use the testing syringe and test themselves for the disease. If you feel an extreme irritation in your lymph nodes, it's likely you have terminal symptoms. In that case, you must get tested immediately. If test results comes out positive, inject the treatment medication C120. This is a lot of information to process all at once. If the irritation persists after 10 minutes, use a second injection. If there is still no change in symptoms, seek treatment at HQ. Do not use C120 if your test results are not positive. If used on a healthy body, symptoms of high fever, rashes, dilated pupils, and hallucination will be observable within 10 minutes. If this occurs, one must seek treatment at HQ. The instructions are very detailed. I like how most of the time you're not sure of the pronunciation. You've actually gotten it correct. Thank you. I'm glad that's the case. Just saw the cutest, saddest Hollow Knight comic. You can link it in the Discord. I'd like to see that. Every time this music plays, it's a very bad moment in the story, so I'm a little bit careful. I think this used to play like when the disaster struck, no? Government officials explained the entire situation in a luxurious meeting room adorned with a marble table and crystal ashtrays. The chief cabinet secretary was in a panic. He'd never heard about any of this before. Feelings of panic were only natural. One girl's death was going to drive 2,000 villagers into a frenzy. Hearing that a disease like that exists was surprising enough. But on top of that, it was secretly researched for military use, and now there was a horrific situation caused by the director of the local research institute engaging in embezzlement. Well, that's not true. Well, that's a lie. Idiot did none of this. Well, yes, because it was all, performed in secret. LinkedIn Games, thank you. I've never heard of such a dangerous disease. There's no cure for it? No.
国立研究所の説明では、重度感染者の発症に対する治療法は確立したばかりで、全住民への対応は事実上不可能とのことです。
According to the National Research Center, they have recently found a method of treatment for the carriers of the disease, but they're still not capable of administering that treatment to the whole village.
最短で24時間以内、長くとも48時間以内に、山村の人口2000人が全て末期発症するとのことです。
The entire populace is going to develop terminal symptoms within the next 24 to 48 hours.
甚大な被害と影響が予想されます。
It's going to be a disaster. How did they even find out about this? I wonder if someone came forward. The danger of this Hinamizawa syndrome was explained over and over again to the chief secretary. He didn't have anything more to say, but that didn't mean that he could blindly accept it either. He simply couldn't believe that the only way to resolve the situation was to kill all 2,000 infected villagers.
そりゃ大変なことになるのはわかるけど、住民を皆殺しにするなんて、そんなの許可できるわけないだろ。
Well, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. But like, I still don't understand what that one faction in Tokyo, the organization Tokyo, even wants to accomplish by doing all of this. I mean, now they killed Rika. They're gonna cause the disaster. But like, why? They wanted to use this for like independence for Japan? I don't see how that's happening after killing an entire village. I'm not sure. Maybe it's to show, yo, we have this kind of crazy bioweapon. It's not like they don't have the medication for it anymore. Or medication, or more like drug, poison, the weapon. So maybe it really is just to demonstrate that they have some form of bioweapon, but that's not how they're gonna frame it in like news stories or something. They're gonna disguise it as a gas leakage. So like, I don't think I 100% understand the point of all of this. Maybe they'll explain it more. I understand the urgency, but I can't give approval to kill an entire village.
そもそもなんでこんな危険な病気を隠蔽して研究なんかしてたんだ。
Why was this disease being studied in secret anyway?
そもそもそういう事態を招いたのはその関係の連中の責任じゃないのかね。
Isn't this the responsibility of those who are funding the research?
第一、こんな危険な研究は今や日本の国益に貢献しないどころか損ないかねんぞ。
Such a dangerous disease can't possibly be of any benefit to this country.
どうして昭和の58年までこんな馬鹿げた研究をしていたんだ。
It's the year 1983 for crying out loud.
報告書によれば研究目的のために撲滅を意図的に遅らせていたそうじゃないか。
According to these documents, they intentionally held off on exterminating the disease so they'd have more time to study it.
しかも汚職をめぐるトラブルの果てにこんな事態だ。
On top of that, this chaos was all caused by a single researcher. I mean, that enough is, you know, enough reason to doubt that any of this is true, or like at least that he is solely responsible for this outbreak. But you know, that's just my opinion.
これはテロだよ、テロ。
This is an act of terrorism.
東京の老害だ。
It's the fault of those old men in Tokyo.
こんな研究を指示していた人間には全員責任を取ってもらうぞ。
They better take responsibility for this.
いつまでも大戦の亡霊に取り憑かれている連中を追放したまえ。
Get rid of the people who are still haunted by the ghost of the war.
これは東京の海を出すいい機会じゃないのかね。
This is a good opportunity to rid Tokyo of its festering pus. Yay, more killing. Let's go.
必ず行いますが、それより前に対応を考えなければなりません。
Maybe he didn't mean killing, actually. I feel like I just associate terminating someone with killing. He would have said throwing them into prison if he meant otherwise, right? Right? Haha. We will discuss the issue of responsibility in due time, but we must make a prompt decision about this. A man standing by the window slowly turned around and opened his mouth.
総理、
Prime Minister,
ご決断を。
please give us your decision. Oh my god, I do not want to be this guy right now.
滅菌作戦を承認しない場合のシミュレートを聞かせてください。
What happens if I don't approve this final resolution?
はい。
Well,
今から36時間後には村人のほぼ全員が末期発症。
almost 100% of the population in the village will develop terminal symptoms within 36 hours.
末期的な被害妄想に取り憑かれ、反社会的な行為を行います。
They will be overcome by persecution complexes and they will begin behaving violently.
想定されるのは 自殺、殺人、放火、強盗、強姦。
Suicide, murder, arson, robbery, and rape are some of the things we predict will happen.
治安の完全なる崩壊です。
There will be no peace within the village.
騒動はおそらくひなみ沢地区のみでなく周辺地区へも波及します。
It probably won't stay within those boundaries either, but spread throughout the area.
結果、世界規模での注目を浴びることになるでしょう。
As a result, the whole world will discover this
民
disaster.
間の独自調査の結果、奇病が原因であることが発覚するのは食い止められません。
Sooner or later, they will find out about this mysterious
野
disease.
党は奇病の対応の不手際を清掃の具に次期選挙を有利に運ぶでしょう。
This will be a great advantage for the opposition during the next election. Yeah, sure. But I feel like people dying and other horrible things happening is maybe slightly more important than the next election. Just saying.
また東京内でも総理の対応に批判が高まるでしょう。
Tokyo will also voice their criticisms of the prime
彼
minister.
らの支持は総理の列島改造に欠かせません。
You need their approval in order to make your political plans come to fruition.
そして何よりも軍事目的での研究が政府内部から暴かれる可能性があります。
More than anything, the government might reveal that this secret research was conducted for military purposes.
これだけは断固阻止しなくては我が国に致命的信用ダメージを与えかねません。
If this happens, this country will have a crisis of faith in their leadership.
逆に滅菌作戦を承認した場合はどうなりますか？
What if I approve the final resolution?
はい、
Well,
自然災害を装いますのでやはり対応の不手際の野党追及は避けられません。
we will be disguising this as a natural disaster, so the opposition may still attack us for our blunder.
ただし奇病研究について発覚することはないでしょう。
However, they will not discover the existence of this mysterious disease.
もし万が一奇病の軍事的研究が世界に発覚したら我が国はアジア地域でのイニシアチブを完全に喪失します。
If by chance the world were to discover our military research of the disease, our nation would completely lose its initiative in the Asian region.
他国の援助を受ける政党は一大キャンペーンを張るな。
Support from those nations is a necessity for us.
売国どもめ。そうなれば野党の政権奪取は必至だよ。
If we lose their trust, the opposition will definitely come into power after the next election.
日本は宣戦布告なくして占領されるぞ。
Japan will be finished. This is such a high risk. Like, this is completely not what Tokyo wanted, but it's like such a big risk just doing all of what they did. I don't understand it. Like, I'm understanding the point behind this less and less. I don't understand why they did this. Like, that is not what they wanted. They wanted Japan to be strong and independent and able to defend themselves in war and have these crazy strong bioweapons. But this is gonna result in the opposite if this goes wrong. I don't get it. I don't get the point.
シミュレートの結果では第2党、第3党が連立した場合与野党の勢力は完全に反転します。
According to our simulations, the balance of power will shift drastically if the second and third parties form a coalition
国
government.
際世論は我が国を一斉に非難。
The whole world will hold us responsible.
国連に対し NBC 兵器開発疑惑の査察を要求するでしょう。
The United Nations will accuse us of developing WMDs. What does that stand for? Weapons of mass destruction. Well, it's kind of true though.
近隣国は政府主導でバッシングキャンペーンを展開。高支持率を背景に対日外交を強硬路線に転換します。
Neighboring countries' governments will lead smear campaigns against us, drawing a hard line of anti-Japan Oh my god, Japan diplomatic policies with high approval ratings.
我が国は政治的焦土と化すでしょう。
In every way possible, the government of this country will be burned to the ground.
国際信用は ペンペン草一本残らんということかね。
So we'll lose the trust of all our allies, huh?
くそ。
Shit.
つまりひなみ沢地区と周辺自治体の数十万人だけの問題では済まんということだな。
So this isn't just the problem of the several 100,000 people who live around the Hinamizawa area, is it?
しかし
But
全てを闇に葬るための犠牲が2000人とは多すぎる。
it's way too difficult to cover up 2,000 casualties.
日本国内において生物兵器研究が行われていたことが露呈することだけは避けなければなりません。
The most important thing is to prevent the public from knowing that this country was secretly researching biological weapons.
私はどうやら対戦の亡霊の尻を拭く羽目になりそうですね。
I guess we'll be wiping the ass of the ghosts of the war.
滅菌作戦は計画通りに隠密で実行できるのかね。
Are you sure this operation can be performed secretly?
滅菌作戦が発覚すれば奇病研究以上の大スキャンダルになるぞ。
If this mission goes public, this will become a greater scandal than the research itself.
はい。ご安心ください。
Yes, it will be kept secret.
それにつきましては、自衛隊内の機密保持に特化した専門部隊が当たります。
There are special units working on this case.
このような事態を想定し、研究と訓練を重ねた部隊です。
They are trained specifically for situations like this.
万一の失敗はありえません。
You have nothing to worry about. I don't know. I feel like secrets always come to light eventually.
都市沈黙戦という言葉は初めて聞きましたが、これはガスによる虐殺のことですね。
I've never heard of any mission like this, but it's basically mass murder via gas, correct?
自衛隊に合戦を習熟した部隊があったとは驚きました。
I had no idea there were units specifically trained for that.
ガス防護を知るには、合戦を知らなければなりません。
In order to know how to protect themselves from a gas attack, they must know what gas warfare is about.
ガス虐殺に備えるには、ガス虐殺を知らねばなりません。
In order to know how to fight against an enemy using gas, they must also know how to kill with it.
装備実験隊は、日本国が受ける可能性のあるすべての攻撃に対し、日夜研究を重ねています。
The equipment research unit is prepared for any kind of attack. He let out a small sigh. You couldn't see the line between ethical and unethical. Can any research be justified by the excuse of preparing against hostilities? But that's also what preparation was all about. Some evils must be accepted as necessary. The Idiot Institute was one such evil.
明かせぬ研究を葬る
I feel like that's very
明
evil.
かせぬ方法を取るか。
Like, this is more than just evil. This is like inhumane. This is so fucked up. This reminds me of a super sad short horror film I saw on YouTube about the biochemical experiments Unit 731 did. I feel like I heard that before. I used to like watch videos about these really horrific experiments people did on like other people. I feel like I remember something about what you just mentioned, but I don't know the specifics about it. But yeah, there's some fucked up shit. Even stuff that we today still don't know of, so yup. This is kind of really sad. So we have to make a secret decision in order to keep this research undisclosed.
罪悪感の伴う任務だが、隊員から事実が漏れ出すことはないのかね。
Approving this is going to make us guilty. Are you sure that information will not leak from the members of this unit?
ありえません。
That will not
隊員
happen.
は第一空挺から精鋭を選抜し、さらに高い忠誠心を持つ者のみで構成しております。
The members were carefully selected from a group of extremely loyal men. I don't know if I would trust this to go well. I feel like I, in this guy's position, would be like, yo, let's maybe not keep this a secret. Maybe we just, tell the truth and this won't be our fault. We won't be in on the secret and the fucked upness of all of this. I feel like that'd be a better way to go about it instead of keeping this a secret and potentially covering up more shit behind the scenes.
実戦はこれが初めてになりますが、連度は極めて高く、 内部の機密保持も問題ありません。
I also don't trust that this is gonna just stay secret for whatever reason. That's too easy, too logical. That would be too grown up, too kind, too humane. Hello, Nu. I hope you're doing good today. Oh, this is so messed up. I can't believe he's just gonna be like, yeah, let's just kill all the people in that village. I mean, they're gonna have to kill them regardless, no? But it's a question of, I guess, being truthful about what happened or covering it all up with more shit. So, I don't know. I feel like lying about it some more isn't gonna fix the issue long term. But what do I know? I'm not a politician. We've never performed an operation such as this, but they are highly experienced and they will not leak any information whatsoever.
まさに暗殺の専門部隊ですね。
They're an assassination unit, huh?
総理、どうか緊急マニュアル第34号の執行にご決裁をお願いいたします。
Prime Minister, please give us the approval to administer Emergency Manual 34.
防衛庁長官、この作戦は必ず成功しますか？
Ah. Hello, Aeolus. Hi. I hope you're doing good today. Director General of Defense, are you sure this operation will succeed?
事件が大騒ぎになる前に食い止められますか？
Are you sure we can stop this from going public?
いえ、犠牲者を最小限に抑えられますか？
No. Can you keep casualties to a minimum?
はい、
Minimum?
総
I cannot fucking say that word.
理。すでに予備命令を発し、作戦準備に入っております。
Yes, sir. The preliminary orders have been sent out and preparations are complete.
ご決裁をいただければ、直ちに出動して作戦に入ります。
We will execute the mission as soon as we get your approval.
私には人口2000人を虐殺する命令など下せません。
I can't give the approval to slaughter 2,000 innocent people.
ですが、内閣総理大臣として犠牲者を最小に抑える義務もあります。
However, as Prime Minister, I have an obligation to minimize the number of casualties.
総理、胸中をお察しします。
Prime Minister, I understand your dilemma.
長官、どうか犠牲者が一番少なくて済む方法を選択してください。
Director General, please make a concerted effort to minimize the number of victims.
2000人がどうしても治療できないなら、不必要な犠牲者が出ないよう迅速な対応をお願いいたします。
If these 2,000 people can't be treated, please do what's best to prevent additional victims.
はい、
Can't believe they're just gonna go through with this. Oh.
ご決裁を感謝いたします。
Yes, sir. Thank you for your approval.
必ずや朗報をお持ちいたします。
We'll return with positive results.
2000人の犠牲が朗報と呼べるならですがね。
That's if you can call 2,000 casualties a positive result. This guy seems like he understands the gravity of the situation at least. This guy seems to just not care. He's like, yeah, let's just fucking end this all. Yeah, positive results. More like pretty bad, but the best bad results you can get, I suppose.
奥野君、東京の皆さんに近日中にお会いできる席を設けてください。
Okuno-kun, please set up a meeting with Tokyo as soon as
今
possible.
回の件について釈明を直接聞かせていただきたいと思います。
I have to hear an explanation directly from them. I'd like to hear that too. Tokyo had to wipe them all out. No, that's too bad.
わかりました。
ところで、
Understood.
その問題の研究所長の入江氏は逮捕しましたか？
By the way, did they arrest that Iria, the institute director?
いえ、服毒自殺とのことです。
No, he committed suicide by taking poison. I feel like they killed him, right? There's no way he would have killed himself. Or so I would like to believe. I think that he must have been murdered. He was also like being tailed by the, what were they called? The mountain dogs. So I'm pretty sure they killed him. The entire village tripped and fell. A tragedy. They all just died in their sleep peacefully.
研究の終了が自身の人生を否定されたものと悲観しての
Mm-hmm.
発作的行動と思われていますが、 何が目的だったやら。
He was in such a rage that his research was being shut down that he felt as if his life itself was being denied. Well, that's already a lie because I don't know. I mean, yes, the research was being shut down because of all of this, but it's not his fault, so this is not about his, like, revenge act, embezzlement, revenge, I will kill everyone act. This is not something that idiot did, so I'm doubting that he actually committed suicide.
彼を凶器に駆り立てた理由は永遠に闇の中ということですか。
So no one will ever really know what made him commit such a horrific crime, because he didn't do it. The execution of Emergency Manual 34 is approved, June 23rd, 1983. Prime Minister X. Director General of the Defense Agency X. What a gang.
皆さん、輸送の都合で荷物を持つことはできません。
Oh my god, we get to see all of this firsthand. Awesome. Amazing. Oh, I don't want to see this. I really don't. This is gonna be so horrific. Hello, Derek. Hi. Hope you're doing good today. For logistical reasons, you may not bring any large items with you.
手荷物は禁じます。
You cannot carry any luggage.
繰り返します。手荷物は禁じます。
I repeat, you cannot carry any luggage.
現金、通帳、印鑑の類だけを携帯してください。
You may carry only valuable items such as bank books and cash. Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you for the head pat.
混乱防止のため車両避難は禁じています。
Please do not use your own vehicle to evacuate. It will cause confusion. It was the middle of the night, and yet countless villagers were out and about. Some of them were locking their doors, some of them were watering their plants, and some of them were piling up food in their dogs' dinner bowls. Small children were crying in fear. Members of the town council were yelling angrily while counting up the villagers. Reportedly, the village had been cut off from the rest of the world after volcanic gas gushed out of the mountains. The number of the policemen and military units in the village added to the strong smell of sulfur in the air, dispelled any doubts the villagers might have had. The more religious among the elderly were convinced that this was the curse of Rika Furude, who had passed away the day before. Oh, so this is the day after! They were certain that Oyashiro-sama was enraged and that the door to hell had been opened. Soldiers wearing gas masks guided the villagers to the evacuation center.
なんで兵隊さんは災害なのに鉄砲持ってきたらしゃ。
Why do you all have guns?
皆さんが避難した後の家屋を守るためです。
These are to protect your homes after the evacuation. Me when I lie. Me when I'm about to shoot your ass.
また、災害に便乗して商店を襲撃するボートに対してです。
We're expecting looters.
南沢にそんな輩はおらんのしゃ。
No one in Hinamizawa would do something like that.
第一小隊、避難誘導順調。
This is the first platoon. The evacuation is on schedule.
了解。
Roger that.
一個分隊を応援に向かわせます。
We'll send our platoon over.
兵隊さん、じいさまの位牌を持ってんじゃならんがね。
I mean, I understand the point he's trying to make, but also like now you have weapons evacuating them now after the news isn't even out that this has happened? Like this is I would doubt them immediately. At least we now know how Keiichi survived in Tatarigoroshi. It's kind of interesting though, they just found him like a couple of days later, wasn't it? Or like a day later or something? After everyone had already died. They just found him like walking around without a gas mask too. And they didn't actually kill him. They genuinely did bring him to like some kind of facility. I forgot where they brought him to, but they didn't kill him. I still wonder like how, I guess, okay, yeah, that makes sense actually. The gas wasn't outside. It was, they were all being brought to a location where they were gassed all together, right? Which makes sense then why Keiichi wouldn't die if he was found outside, because there was no gas outbreak outside. They were brought to a location specifically to be killed. Excuse me, I need to bring along my grandfather's mortuary tablet? I don't know what that means. Is that like a tombstone kind of thing? Mortuary tablet. Yeah, like a spirit tablet, memorial tablet, something like that.
位牌は構いません。
You may take that with you.
急いでください。
Please hurry up.
紹介の方は天候を怠らないように。
Make sure everyone in the village is
歩
here.
行困難な方は申し出てください。
Please come forward if you're unable to walk. What about Keiichi's parents, or like anyone's parents? Are they gonna question where their children are?
隊員が補助します。
A soldier will come and help you.
おお、リカちゃまが殺されたからお社様がお怒りになったのじゃ。
Oyashiro-sama is angry because Rika-chama was murdered.
お社様、お社様、お社様。どうか怒りをお鎮めください。
Oyashiro-sama, please forgive our sins.
防災訓練通りに避難しちゃれ。
Remember our emergency
班
drills.
長は天候終わったら町会役員に連絡せんかいね。
Group leaders have to contact a town council member when everyone in their group has shown up.
鬼ヶ淵から正気が溢れ出したんで。
Miasma is coming out of the swamp. Okay,
お
dude.
社様はお怒りだね。
Oyashiro-sama must be furious.
こんなに大勢いるんじゃ助かる方法なんかなかったよ。
This is so incredibly fucked up. Yeah, and oh my god, this is I don't want to see them be gassed. I really hope Yukishi doesn't show us that. But I mean he did basically let us see children get shot by a crazy woman, so I have a feeling we'll get them see gas, unfortunately. There are too many of us here. We'll never make it out alive.
村で死なせてくれな。
Let me die in this village.
大丈夫です。
Don't
輸
worry.
送ヘリと防ガス仕様のバスが回されます。
The helicopters and buses are on their way to transport everyone to safety.
必ず助かりますから。
You're all going to make it out okay.
みんな営林署へ集まれ。
Everyone gather at the forestry service.
4丁目は違うだろ。郵便局裏の公民館だぞ。
That's the school, right? That's basically the forestry service, I'm pretty sure. No, not the people from District 4. You're supposed to go to the community center behind the post office.
皆さん、防災訓練と同じです。
It's exactly the same as in the emergency
落
drills.
ち着いて災害時避難場所に集合してください。
Please calm down and head to your evacuation point.
団体行動をお願いします。
Please move as a group.
一人の乱れが全体の足を引きます。
Every person matters.
どうか団体行動を。
Everyone needs to stick together.
家には必ず戻れます。
You will get home safely. Oh my god. The school, yeah. Okonogi's gardeners. Is that who was in there? I wonder. I don't think that's the Okonogi gardener front that they put up. I think this is genuinely something that they had in Hinamizawa, no? The villagers couldn't see the expressions under the soldiers' gas masks. They wondered what kind of expression they were hiding under there. The soldiers were, of course, lying to the villagers, knowing that they would never return to their homes again. One such trooper cried under his mask, but the villagers never saw his tears. Poor guy.
引き返してください。
I mean, what he's about to do is extremely fucked up, so I shouldn't feel bad for him, but like still, I'm sure that some of these guys didn't want to partake in this. Like, I'm sure that some of them are normal human beings that don't want to be responsible for killing 2,000 innocent people. So, I feel kind of bad, because I'm sure he didn't sign up for this voluntarily. Please go back.
車両での避難は禁止されています。
You can't take your own vehicle to evacuate.
この先はガス流で寸断されており危険です。
The road ahead is cut off by a gas stream, and it's dangerous.
あんたにも硫黄の匂いがわかるでしょ
Can't you smell the sulfur? Some people tried to leave in their cars so as to take large items with them. Oops. However, the quarantine unit had sealed off all roads leading outside. The gas masks of the troopers and the smell of the sulfur persuaded them to return and obey their instructions. Some of them tried to contact Okinomiya, but their phones would not connect. The lines were busy no matter how much they tried. They simply assumed that the phone lines were overwhelmed because of the disaster. Some of the villagers had access to radios, They tried to figure out what the situation was like outside, but all they could hear over the radio was loud static. It was the same with the television. They couldn't contact anyone outside of the village, so they really were totally isolated. That is so fucked up. Isn't that like enough to cause some suspicion? Like, a gas leakage is no reason why... Okay, phone lines, I get, you know, they could be busy. But like the radio, the TV, all of that should work. And so they had nothing to rely on but the instructions of the police and the military. They were all like moths heading towards the light, never doubting that they would be safe there. One old war veteran listened to the noise from the radio and muttered,
メさんの妨害電波食らった時も
Mhm.
こんな音がしたね。
This is exactly how it sounded when the Americans jammed the radio waves during the war. As it turned out, he was absolutely correct. However, he turned off the radio when his son urged him to evacuate. Poor guy knows what's about to happen. The villagers had all gathered at their evacuation points. Some of them were at the school, and some were at the community center. They were to stay in the building until the evacuation vehicles arrived. Soldiers told them to stay inside so they could keep track of the number of evacuees.
万一のガス流に備えて窓はすべて閉めてください。
Oh my god, I can't believe what I'm about to witness right now! Please close all of the windows to prevent the gas from entering. Wink,
念の
wink.
ため窓ガラスはテープで目張りします。
We'll be sealing the windows to be on the safe side.
申し訳ございませんが、ご協力をお願いいたします。
Your cooperation would be appreciated.
よし来た。
Alright,
若いのは率先して手伝え。
let's help them out. People started to seal up all the windows and vents with the duct tape that was handed to them. They completely sealed every opening, even as they heard the disquieting conversation of the soldiers. It was long past 3 a.m., but everyone was wide awake with fear. They were having an extremely long night. Dude, my heart is beating way too fast. I don't want to read this. I'm scared. I don't want to have to read this. This is so fucked up. They're basically helping in getting themselves gassed. This is so fucked up. They were having an extremely long night. Coincidentally, the end of their night had almost arrived.
全部お社様のたたりなんじゃ。
This is all Yashiro-sama's curse.
リカちゃま、リカちゃま。お社様、お社様。
やっぱりフルデ神社の鬼隠しはお社様のお怒りの先触れだったんだ。
Yashiro-sama demoned away those kids at the foot of the shrine in his fury.
あの日、フルレ神社は鬼の国に飲み込まれたんよ。
The foot of the shrine was swallowed by the world of the demons that
リ
day.
カちゃまは鬼たちに腹渡を食らわれたんじゃ。
The demons chewed up her guts while she was still alive. They all started saying that the gas disaster was caused by the curse of Oyashiro-sama, and Rika's death and the mysterious disappearance of her friends and the 2 detectives were also the result of the curse. People started talking about being demoned away. They had no idea that Keiichi and his friends' short battle sealed their fate for that night. The more religious villagers had become convinced that the children and the detectives went missing because they volunteered to become a sacrifice to calm Oyashiro-sama's anger after Rika's death. They didn't know the truth. They couldn't know. Not one realized that Keiichi and his friends' efforts had all been in vain. Indeed, in Hinamizawa, everything that happens is the will of Oyashiro-sama. Poor Hanyu. But why did it have to be that way? Before the series of mysterious deaths occurred, no one really used the term the curse of Oyashiro-sama that frequently. In other words, who set them up? People in this village were set up to believe that the curse of Oyashiro-sama happens every year. They really are just too superstitious.
サンサ、全小隊が点呼を終了しました。
Right, before we witness absolute destruction, disaster, let's take a little break because there's gonna be an ad break in a minute and I can't snooze the ads anymore. Oh my god, this is gonna be awful to read. Oh, okay. I will mentally prepare myself and I'll be back in like 3 minutes. Hello, I'm back. I did not mentally prepare myself. I'm scared. I don't want to read this. Hello, Rice. Hope you're doing good today. Happy Friday. Oh, this is gonna be fine. This is gonna be okay. Major, we finished gathering the villagers together.
遅れていた自主避難者もさっき最後の家族が合流したようです。
The last family finally reached their assembly points.
全員揃いました。
You got everyone. Yep, you're gonna get everyone. Happy Friday! I hope no one dies today. Yeah, don't worry. They're just about to gas 2,000 people. Don't worry, no biggie. This happens in a Ryukishi novel, I suppose. This is just normal.
そう
I hate her! I want her to die, man! She sucks! Hello, Amadis. Hi, hope we're doing it today. Yep, they're about to gas the entire village. They have them, you know, in the school. Where else? I forgot. They got a group of people somewhere else, and they're gonna gas them and kill them. All of them. Children, the elderly, everyone.
いよいよねお社様のたたりが現実となる
Good, this is finally it. The curse of Oyashiro-sama will become a reality tonight.
お社様の生まれ変わりであるフルデリカを綿流しにするという冒涜によってお社様の怒りが村に下される
She's insane. Do you think it was a natural accident at some point? Yeah, of course I did. I really did. I really did think that they all just died because Rika died. That it was just a natural thing. That I know that it was like connected to the disease. And I just thought that instead of going crazy and like having the disease activate, so to say, they would just die because, you know, Rika died. But the fact that they're just gonna get gassed is incredible. I don't know. I didn't think that that was actually gonna happen. I seriously thought that they would just die peacefully because Rika was killed, but nope. It just gets worse and worse. Ryukishi really wanted to make this horrifying. Not just the men, but the women and the children, everyone. I wonder what's gonna happen to the animals. Like the dogs, the cats, whatever other pets people have. What is gonna happen to them? Are they just gonna leave them in their homes? Is that it? They just leave them there? For enacting Watanagashi on Rika Furude, Oyashiro-sama is punishing this village.
それでこの5年間の連続したたたりは本当の神罰に昇格される
The curses of the last 5 years are culminating in the biggest curse of them all.
もう誰にも事件なんて呼ばせない
This is not just a mysterious chain of murders.
これは荒ぶる神の怒りなのだから
This is divine punishment from an enraged god. So her, I suppose. I've seen this Takano sprite before, but I don't think I've ever realized that the gray section could be see-through until you said it. It kind of seems like it could be see-through, but then I'm kind of confused as to why she's wearing a skin-tight black long-sleeve shirt underneath as well, or I don't know what this is supposed to be. But like, I feel like it could be see-through except for this part. Very cool though.
始めなさい
Let's begin.
中隊長より全隊員へ
Well, this is the company commander.
彼らのために1分間の黙祷を捧げよ
The men are requesting 1 minute of
う。さ
silence.
て、1分だけご許可を。
Can you let them have that, Major?
お好きになさい
Do as you like. Takano gave him a disparaging laugh. The company commander crossed his heart and began to speak.
天に召します我らの父よ。
Dear Heavenly Father, okay?
罪なき彼らをどうかお導きください。
Please guide these innocent people.
彼らの尊き犠牲がそれ以上の犠牲を防ぐことをどうか報いてください。
Their sacrifice will save the lives of many others to come.
そして願わくば罪深き我らをお許しください。
Please forgive us for committing this sin.
我らが今日ここにあることをお許しください。
Please forgive us for being here today. The The company commander isn't Christian. In fact, he doesn't follow any religion. However, he prayed because he felt the need to ask someone for forgiveness. He wasn't even sure if he was saying it correctly, but he still prayed to God. He asked forgiveness for committing his sin and continued to pray. Takano was speaking in a soft voice. She was talking to herself.
神がいつ降臨されるのかは誰も知らない。
For ye know not what hour your Lord doth
そ
come.
れは例えるなら、泥棒がいつ訪れるのかわからないように。
But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come,
だから予期せずしてその時を迎えて、不信心であったことに歯ぎしりすることがないよう、常に目を覚ましていなさい。
he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up.
エセ預言者たちは、神の降臨を声高に叫ぶであろうが、それに惑わされてはなりませんか。
Ka. I don't know why that was funny to me. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. She's insane. She's clinically insane. Call her evil, call her crazy, call her cruel, but do not say my girl does not know how to dress. She does have a good fashion sense, I guess, for a mass murderer. I don't understand why this guy is even going through with this. Why are you here, dude? You clearly don't want to be here. I mean, maybe they'll get killed if they don't keep this a secret and they just don't carry out their mission and just leave. Maybe they don't want to be here, but they will just die if they don't do this. I don't know. One man heard her
マ
murmurs.
タイの福音書ですね。
It's from the Gospel of Matthew.
そうなの？
Is it?
祖父の好きだった言葉よ。
My grandfather always said that to me.
報われる日がいつ訪れるかわからないから、常に勤勉であれって言葉だと思っていたけど。
He was telling me to work hard every day because you'll never know when you will be rewarded.
今日が報われる日なのですか？
Is this a reward for you?
そうよ。あなたにはわからないでしょうけどね。
Yes, although you might never understand it. It's just crazy. I don't know what to say. Oh my god. I like how the dogs are saying, oh, forgive me for the sin of killing hundreds of people that could be preventable. It's thousands, actually. They said like it's 2,000 people. It's worse. It's actually worse. It's pretty bad. Also, hello, Nin. I hope I said your name correctly. Hi. Her fit is fire, I can agree. Her fit is fire for a mass murderer. We can say that. Thank you for the hydrate. I'm so fucking scared.
失礼ながら、主の降臨は慈悲深いものであるべきだと信じています。
Excuse my rudeness, but I believe that the descent of God is a merciful thing.
このような日にそれを例えられることは冒涜かと思います。
I think what you're saying is inappropriate for a time like this. He was trying to tell her that using that verse of the Bible was inappropriate for the occasion. However, Takano simply laughed as though she had heard something very funny.
ごめんなさいね。
I'm sorry,
あなたは神に試されなさい。
but you have no right to judge.
私は今日を境に試す側となるのよ。
Tonight is the night where I become a god.
以上で黙祷を終了する。
The moment of silence has ended. It wasn't really silence because one asshole kept yapping. I'm doing good except for the fact that this is very sad. And with the end of the
全
silence,
正体滅菌を開始せよ。
execute the operation now. The order was given in as hollow and reluctant a manner as an order can possibly be.
Now,
never mind, she's gonna read it.
完成した。文字通りの理想郷がここにはある。 ここでは
Utopia?
私
I
は
don't think
神
so.
で、私のたたりは永遠に刻まれ、語り継がれるのだ。
Takano's that person. She's... Oh my god, I don't even know what to say anymore. There are no words left for how fucked up this is. People were packed into the classroom. They were afraid. Oh, Yukishi, I don't want to have to read this. I really don't. The troopers closed the door of the classroom. The people inside had no idea why they were doing that. However, they didn't suspect anything at all. An old man walked up to the door to open it. Because with it closed, it was far too hot inside the room. But he collapsed all of a sudden. His wife tried to walk over to help him up, but she also collapsed all of a sudden. Then, other people also started collapsing inside of the room. It really was a very odd sight. What would make for a good example? It would be pretty amusing if they were dominoes? However, they're human beings. People sitting by the window watched this strange event happen before their eyes. They opened those eyes wider to try and understand what was going on.
ダム戦争をきっかけに、長き眠りからよみがえった荒ぶる神が、不信心なる者を綿流しの聖夜の旅にたたりを下してゆく。その一年一年の積み重ねが、神の復活、お社様の意向の復活、たたりを恐れるという原始的恐怖への回帰。
The door creaked open slightly, and someone on the other side threw 3 spray canisters into the room. More people started to collapse, even those at the window. This wasn't something that was happening only in one room. It was happening in all the other rooms too. It was happening in all the evacuation centers. People's dreams, their hopes, and their futures were taken away so quickly and easily.
そして誰もがお社様のたたりを疑わなくなり、完全に復活した我は、古きムクロの腹を内より破りて、今こそこの世によみがえる。お社様の怒りに触れるとき、地獄の釜が開きて正気があふれ出し、人々は逃げることもかなわず、ことごとく生き絶えるなり。その最後の審判が、たたりが、こうして実現した。
There was a commotion in the reception room by the principal's office. Someone had figured out what was going on, broke the seal off the window, and escaped outside. Other people tried to remove the seal on their windows too, but they collapsed in a matter of seconds.
あなたは死んだら何が残る？身は腐り、焼かれ、骨は砕かれ砂になる。大地の肥やしになる以上の何が残せるの？
応接室で脱走発生。
God, they're gonna shoot him! Someone escaped from the reception
4
room.
名が窓から脱出。
4 people are loose.
発砲許可。
You have permission to fire.
撃て撃て撃て撃て撃て撃て。
Shoot, shoot, shoot! I can't fucking believe what is going on right now. The soldiers shot the people who tried to escape in the back. The sound of the gunshots echoed in the silence. It was a noise filled with cruelty. They helplessly fell down to the ground. Their deaths were so pitiful compared to the silent deaths of those before them. The residential police officer was one of the escapees. He tried to shoot back at them with his own gun. His shots could be heard throughout the building. The soldiers ducked in the shadows upon hearing the noise. The officer seized his chance and ran towards the gate, but that was just a waste of time. Not only is the range of the automatic weapons they were using longer than the length of the schoolyard, but as trained professionals, it would be nothing for them to shoot him from that distance. The villagers had no choice. Either they'd die from the gas without realizing what was happening, or they'd find out about the mission and be killed.
どうした？
What happened?
反撃されたか？
Did they fight back?
応答しろ！
Respond!
脱走者は全員射殺。
We've shot all the fugitives.
銃声は駐在警官が反撃したものです。
One of the residential policemen shot back.
射殺体を回収しろ。
Collect those
一
bodies.
般犠牲者と一緒にしないよう注意せよ。
Do not put them with the other corpses. The soldiers walked over to the 4 fallen bodies. They needed to make sure that they were all dead, not just injured.
私は残した。名を残した。偉業を残した。たたりを残した。私の存在は、この長く封鎖されるこの土地で神格化されるだろう。そして、近隣の町にて今日のたたりを逃れた者たちは、たたりを恐れ、その恐怖を人々に語り継ぐだろう。人間の群れの記憶が、私を超越した存在へ昇華させるのだ。
第一小隊より本部。
Goodness gracious. This is the first
エアイン
platoon.
署の滅菌を終了。
The forestry service building has been
脱
sterilized.
走者4名は射殺。
4 escaped, we took them down.
第二小隊より本部
This is the second
滅菌
platoon.
終了
Sterilization complete.
脱走者なし
No one escaped.
第三小隊より本部
This is the third
脱
platoon.
走者10名以上
More than 10 escaped.
現在相当中
We're conducting a
制
sweep.
圧は時間の問題
It will be over soon.
第四小隊より本部
This is the fourth
滅菌
platoon.
終了
Sterilization complete.
脱走者なし
No one escaped.
第三小隊より本部
This is the third
脱
platoon.
走者13名全員の射殺を確認
We've taken out all 13 fugitives.
全員の滅菌を終了
Sterilization is now complete.
了解
As if it wasn't bad enough that they were gassing them, they also had to hunt them down and shoot them. Awesome. Thanks, Rukishi.
機密保持部隊の全小隊は確認を厳重に行われたし
Roger. Start counting the bodies. Make sure the total matches the original number taken earlier tonight. I kind of feel like she would enjoy if some people survived so that they would, you know, fear Oyashiro-sama, aka her, as she caused all of this. The fact that they call it sterilization is so horrifying. Yeah, it's messed up. Like, she would be so happy if some people survived and heard about this and were just terrified of Oyashiro-sama. Also, this track is so good. This is a really good track. It's horrifying after what just happened and her just smiling. Oh my god, what is going on? I did not think this is what was happening all those times. I would have preferred for this to actually be a natural disaster and not some mad woman killing an entire village. But I still don't understand why this is happening. Is Major like the highest role in... This is not the military, is it? It's a military organization, but she isn't part of the military, right? I don't even know if she has like the highest role or what. Special Forces. So she's part of like that Tokyo organization, but like they're kind of split half and half. Like the people that are normal, the new generation, and the old generation that is like stuck in like war times. And they want Japan to be independent and whatnot. So they do secret research on this bioweapon in Hinamizawa. But like, what is the point of the outbreak? Why did they have her do this whole thing about killing the entire village? What is the point except her being insane? Or is she just going against the organization's will at this point and is just conducting her own shit for her own gratification to become a god? I think it's Lieutenant, Captain, Major, Lieutenant, Colonel, Colonel. So they should have people above Takano, but like, it doesn't seem like she's talking to them or communicating unless this is what they wanted her to do. Special Forces turn to terrorists. Yeah, I mean, this is basically terrorism right here. There's one arc left. I mean, I suppose they will have to explain their reasoning behind this because she's losing it. I don't know why she's doing this. Girlie's just girling for funsies. Yeah, she became indoctrinated by her grandfather with his weird, I don't know. I don't even know. I guess he's like that Hifumi tea guy. Hifumi Takano, I'm guessing. Because her name is Mio. So her grandfather gave her some weird scriptures, like some religious stuff, and she lost her mind. I really hope that we learn more about her motives, because right now I'm confused as to why Tokyo, the organization, would let her do all of this stuff. I understand why she's doing this. She's kind of crazy and she wants to become a god, but why is the organization letting this happen? I wonder. Like, that's what is confusing me. Also, hello, Zazzle. She just killed the entirety of Hinamizawa. So, yeah. That's that. I don't know what else to say. I would say that's pretty bad. She's a really well-written evil character. She's a good villain. But I want to know more about her motives right now. Takano was laughing to herself inside of the van. She didn't physically see all of those people dying silently. Oh my god. But she saw it anyway. She saw countless people dying without even noticing it. She saw it all in her mind. This is a cool CG. This is a really nice CG. Hello, Rebel. She's an empath. Yeah, sure. That skull on the beret. Oh, I didn't even see that. True, that is a horrifying emblem, symbol. Why does she have that on there? Takano waved her arms in the air. No one was watching her, but no one would understand what she was doing even if they were. She was waving her baton. She was pretending that she was the conductor of this silent funeral march. This guy is just like, why is she here? Why is this crazy person here? She has a skin fang too. She wasn't hot enough already. I don't think it's a skin fang, actually. I think it's just her mouth going down here. This is the middle of her mouth, isn't it? It's a weird angle. But I think it's like her upper lip going down, you know? I think that's what it's supposed to be. Working with Takano must be so difficult. Yeah, I don't know how this guy is still here and not shooting her instead. I like to think it's a bit of a fang. Maybe. It's probably the lip, but yeah. You can see it as a fang. You have a superior at work that grabs her phone and shows you horrifying things on it. Yeah, this is basically Takano. I drew lips that way at times. I mean, yeah, it's basically like a more realistic lip, you know, because the human lip also goes downward like this a little bit. But she doesn't have like the upper lip to make it obvious what this is. Whatever. Major, the sterilization is complete. We're going to reconnect the phone lines. Sure, go ahead. This is the Institute Concealment Unit. We've removed all the classified items and welded the entrance shut. We're currently flooding the underground facility. I love to see this underground facility. I hope they will show us that in the next episode. This is the traffic blockade unit. Everything is proceeding as scheduled. This is the communication sabotage unit. We've reconnected the phone lines. The telephone facility is back to normal. I like how the Prime Minister said, yeah, keep the sacrifices to a minimum, and they just proceeded to kill the entire village anyway. They didn't even test who was actually a terminal patient. I mean, I guess all of them will be, but they could have like maybe vaccinated some people. Maybe some people that didn't already have a high infection stage. I don't know, maybe it's impossible, but they could have maybe vaccinated some people. Not that she would like to do that, but you know, the possibility was there. They didn't have to kill everyone. Takano was paying no attention to those reports. She continued to sing the melody of an orchestra. One operator spoke to her.
ご機嫌ですね。
You seem to be in a good mood.
最高に気分がいい夜よ。
Yes, it feels so good.
あなたには聞こえないでしょうね。
I bet you can't hear it.
この新しい神を称える賛歌が。
This hymn that glorifies God.
参加でありますか。
A hymn? Takano laughed loudly, spreading her arms wide.
そうよ。称える歌、賛歌。
That's right, the hymn.
神のいなかったこの地に新しい神が誕生した瞬間を称える賛歌よ。
A new god has descended to this village.
このひなみ沢には神などいなかった。
There was no god in
お
Hinamizawa.
社様という名が残るだけ。
Oyashiro-sama was just a name.
神がかつて存在した痕跡が残るだけのただの古ぼけた土地だった。
This was an old backwater village with no real
そ
god.
の地に私は再び神を取り戻させたの。
But I brought a god to this place.
どういうことかわかる？
Do you understand what that means?
わからないでしょうね。
I bet you don't.
今の世界にたたる神が何人いる？
How many gods in this world have the power to curse people?
人が試すことに耐えられる神が何人いる？
How many of them can challenge people?
一人もいやしない。
None of them.
それを私がたたった。
But I did it. Takano laughed as if she were the only one who could comprehend what she was saying. None of the operators inside the car could comprehend her laughter. Takano was satisfied to know that.
たたりなきは神にあらず。
A god is not a god without a curse.
たたるゆえに恐れられ、恐れられるゆえに崇められる。
Gods are feared because of their curses, and they're worshipped because they're feared.
それこそが神の真実。
That's the truth about gods.
神が信仰を生み出すのではなく、信仰が神を生み出すのなら、神にたたりなど必要ない。
If faith alone is what creates a god, there's no need for curses.
でも太古の神々はたたったのよ。
But the ancient gods all cursed humans.
では、神のたたりとは何なのか。
Then what is a god's curse?
それこそが真の神の証だった。
It's the proof that a god is
た
real.
たらない神など、人間に見下された神でしかないのよ。
Gods aren't gods if they don't curse people.
神の宿らぬ抜け殻の土地に、神が確かに存在した痕跡を見た私は思ったわ。
I found evidence of the existence of God in this poor village.
これは天の啓示だと。
I thought this was a message from
ラ
heaven.
ム戦争が終わるまで、明治から100年にもわたり、ひなみ沢は神を失ってきた。
Hinamizawa was without a god for 100 years, until the end of the damn
それ
conflict.
を私が蘇らせろという神の啓示だと私は思ったわ。
I believe it's been my mission to restore the god's existence in this village.
そして天は私にありとあらゆる力を貸してくれた。
Heaven supported me and granted me power.
天が与えたわずかの偶然が積もり、芽生えたたたりの芽を私が育てた。
She's completely insane. I've raised the bud of a cursed plant with the faint seeds of coincidence granted to me by heaven.
育まれたたたりは今や結実し、実をたわわに実らせてくれたわ。
And now this budding curse bears fruit and hangs ripe.
そうよ、わかる？
Do you understand?
つまりは今宵は収穫祭。
Tonight is the night of the harvest.
お社様の伝説に刻まれた最後の神のたたりの日。
This is the final curse of Oyashiro-sama.
この日が訪れたからこそ、お社様の存在は今こそ絶対となる。
And from this day forth, Oyashiro-sama will be a real god.
あなたたちは今は分からなくてもやがて知る。
You may not see it now, but someday you will understand.
私が成した偉業がどれほどのものか、どれだけ長く語り継がれるか、そして私がどれほどの存在となったのか。
You'll see how grand this plan I accomplished was, how long it will be told in history, and how great I will become.
神はたたる。
God's curse.
そのたたりを私は起こす。
I make that curse happen.
今こそ我はお社様のたたりなり。
I am the curse of Oyashiro-sama.
我をあがめよ、たたえよ、そして恐れよ。
It's insane. Worship me and be fearful.
我が紡ぐはたたりにあらず、死にあらず。
I'm creating not only death,
我が紡ぐは歴史なり。
I'm writing history.
歴史はたたりを語り、我が存在を永劫に語り伝えるであろう。
History will speak of this curse and remember my existence forever.
我こそはたたりなり。肉でできた身を超越せし者なり。この身がたとえ朽ち果てようとも、我が紡ぎし歴史は永遠に残り続けるであろう。
I'm the curse itself. I've transcended this flesh. My legend will endure forever, beyond my mortal life.
今こそ我は永遠を得たり。
My existence is eternal now.
我が身を呪えよ人間たち。身が朽ちれば後には何も残せぬ無力さを呪い、悔やみ、恐れるがいい。
Curse yourselves and curse your powerlessness.
そして我が偉大さを知るがいい。
Realize how great I am.
我こそはお社様なり。
I am Oyashiro-sama.
今こそ神の領域に至ったものなり。
I'm a god now.
我は肉体が滅びようとも永遠にこの地で語り継がれるのだ。
My flesh may die eventually, but I'll remain in this world forever. Damn, Rikushi wrote one hell of a villain. Oh my god. That VA is so good. That laugh was genuinely evil.
我はお社様。我こそはお社様のたたり。我をあがめよ、たたえよ、そして恐れよ。我が紡ぐはたたりにあらず、死にあらず。我が紡ぐは歴史なり。歴史はたたりを語り、我が存在を永劫に語り伝えるであろう。我こそはたたりなり。肉でできた身を超越せし者なり。この身がたとえ朽ち果てようとも、我が紡ぎし歴史は永遠に残り続けるであろう。今こそ我は永遠を得たり。我が身を呪えよ、人間たち。身が朽ちれば後には何も残せぬ無力さを呪い、悔やみ、恐れるがいい。そして我が偉大さを知るがいい。我こそはお社様なり。今こそ神の領域に至ったものなり。我は肉体が滅びようとも永遠にこの地で語り継がれて永遠の生を受けるのだ。
Boom! Higurashi when they cry! And a crazy woman! Insane! The track was really good though. This fragment's end. Okay. That will be such a shift in the mood if we go to the fucking scenario jump mode. No, wait, this is replaying stuff. I mean the not the reading room either, the after party thing, the staff room, that thing. Angel Mort. I wonder if all the characters are gonna be there again, or if it's just gonna be Ryukishi talking to us from his bedroom again. The Great Hinamis of a Massacre. Had a chat with Ryukishi 07. I did not have that yet. Unless Ryukishi 07 is Takano Mio herself. When Takano shows up in the first episode, you know something might be up with her. Yeah, I mean, she was weird from the very beginning, but this is... I could not have seen this coming. She was a little bit more crazy than I had anticipated. Whatever she takes, I wanted to. I think this is unfortunately unavailable for us. I don't know what is going on in her head, but someone has to do experiments on her, actually. Yeah, she did say like the same thing over and over, but that just kind of goes to show how insane she really is, I think. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna read the tip. Tips. This fragment's end. I guess Rika finally managed to assemble all the pieces to her puzzle. We don't know yet if her memories will pass on to her next life. Rika always loses the memory of her death. I don't know if she can retain the memories of what she's discovered. What did you think? Did you have fun? Once you find out the answers, collecting them isn't so fun anymore. You don't agree? I see. You still might find something different by examining some old fragments. After all, the time we have here is endless. You have to find something to play with, because there's nothing to do here. For me, playing with these fragments stops being fun when I find out what's inside. But if you can tell me how to have fun with them, even so, that makes you pretty smart. What? You want to know what I play with? I don't play, I'm just killing time. I like to imagine what Ika could have done in order to achieve the future she hopes for. I like to imagine a world that would have been happy for all of them. You found out how these worlds are set up by looking at the previous ones, right? I like to analyze what would need to change in order for Rika to win against Takano. You want to see what's on my mind? Hehe, too bad. I'm not showing that to you. In that world, Rika and her friends survived their struggle and broke through the fate of June 1983. It's just my imagination. It's not for me to share it with you. I'm sure the world that Rika is about to create is better than anything in my imagination. Even if she's stuck on June 19th in 1983, I'm sure this now-ended world will remain one of Rika's brightest fragments either way. No matter how much she struggles, if she actually overcomes her fate, it will be the most brilliant fragment of her story. I'm sure the life Rika lives makes for a better story than my boring imagination. You want to know what happened to Rika? She made a decision to redo her life once again with Hanyu. She's trying to live her life with all her might. That's what she learned from this world. Her next life has already begun. I do wonder what that life is like. I'm going there now to check. Do you want to come with me? Yes! Take me with you! I don't know who you are! I don't know what they're saying about fragments, but I feel like I've read that before? And now we have read all the tips in Minagoroshi. Damn. Okay, so we're gonna redo all of this one more time. And this time, even Hanyu is going to believe. Oh, hello, Nue. Hi. Freedom. It's the weekend. You can finally chill. It's time to relax. No longer in prison. Hope you had a good day, even if you were in prison. I guess we can do the staff room. We've done every single one so far. Oh, it's gonna be Hirukishi's bedroom again. Hi, this is Hirukishi07. Thank you for playing Higurashi when they cry, blah blah blah. This time around, the scenario was almost like the answer page in a book of riddles. Or maybe the scenario was like a side dish we enjoyed alongside all the scenarios up to now. You can take it how you like. I just hope that you enjoyed it. I was very nervous about releasing this scenario because a mystery is only good when it's still a mystery. Well, there's still a little bit of mystery. You know, why Tokyo let a crazy person take over this mission? I survived, but my keyboard died. Oh, I hope that you can survive it. Or your keyboard can survive it, rather. This scenario marks the end of that mystery. To be honest, I didn't want to release this chapter for a while. However, way too many similar stories are being published with no answers at all. A book of riddles means nothing if there's no answer page in the back. Coming up with an answer when you have no way to see if it's right or not is a little sad, I think. If there are no answers, you can't get any joy out of reading a book of riddles. I regret to see that there are way too many stories out there that don't offer this kind of joy. That's why I decided to release something that you can compare your answers to for this series. Since this world had a rather irregular presentation, there may not have been many people who reached what might be called the right answer. But it's not actually about whether your answer was right or wrong. It's much more about how many questions you raised when reading the story, and how many answers you were able to find. Thank you all very much for the solutions you've sent me. They were all wonderful theories, and some are thought out so much more than the actual story that I frequently thought about making them the right answer. Wry laugh. Also, your support has given me the courage to finish writing the 7th chapter of this series. Thank you very much for supporting Higurashi. Finally, I would like to apologize about how I portrayed the Child Consultation Center. I don't know what it was like in 1983, but child consultation centers are not mean places like I depicted in my story. I made the characters look so unfeeling, but in reality, the government today is the #1 hero for us civilians. In fact, those involved with child welfare and youth education are all extremely passionate and selflessly devoted people. I'm sorry for giving them such a negative image in this chapter. The next chapter, Matsuri Bayashi, is going to be the last one of the series. I'm overwhelmed by the pressure of writing the last chapter of Higurashi When They Cry, which turned out to be such a long story. I hope you'll continue your kind support. Thank you all very much. Mr. 7th Expansion, Hirukishi07. Hell yeah. Takano must have aced that job interview. I don't know what she said to make them think that she was normal, but she did it. This was really nice to read. I like to believe that he's genuinely trying his best, and that was really good reading. Like, even if it was horrifying, that was horrifying, okay? Reading this last chapter, probably the most horrific scene so far. You know, all the children dying, everyone being gassed or shot. Kind of crazy, but also really well written. I like that. She's cosplaying as a normie. That's what I feel like when I go to job interviews. Okay, well, I do have some more time today, and I do have the 8th episode downloaded, and I already installed the mod, so, what about we just do that? What about we just, play a little bit of the first chapter of the last episode? It's gonna be crazy. Me next week. Oh, do you have a job interview next week? I wish you good luck. Here we are, the last one. Oh yeah, maybe I should stop my recording for YouTube.